Hello viewers, welcome back to the card mat. I'm going to show you 11 different colour changes. Some you might know, some you mightn't. One of them is not really a colour change, it's more of a move a gambler uses, and they can have a gimmick for it, and when we get to that one I'll show you what the gimmick can look like, show you how you can make one. Well, as I say, 11 different colour changes. I'm going to start off with the duck change, then we'll have the twirl change, then shake change, snap change, Cardini change, Erdnase top change. The gambling one that I was telling you about, I can't think of any name for it, so I've just called it a table edge change. You become apparent when you get to see it. Then we'll have the Bertram change, then I think it's called the invisible change. And another one, again, I don't know what this one's actually called. I'm just calling it a palm change. Again, it'll become apparent when you actually see what happens. And then for the last one, again, I cannot remember. It does have a name, this one, but I can't remember because I've known it for that long. I just do it instinctive now. I don't even think about it. So, if any of you do know the name for it, put it in a comment, let me know. Or just make your own name up for it. At least that way you'll know what it is then. And because there's 11 of them, and some of them you'll know, and some you might want to have a little look at, in the description box below, I'll leave numbers 1 to 11 and a time, so you'll know what time the tutorial actually starts for each one of them. So you can just skip past all the others, fast forward to the time, and start watching the one you want to see. And with that, have a quick look at these. There's 11 of them, as I say, and it's only like a minute and 40 seconds, so they are over with pretty quick. So you might have to watch that bit twice. Anyway, see what you think. Right, well, this is how you do a duck change. And what it's doing is exchanging the top card for the second card. So if you've worked the spectator's card into second place, second from the top, you can take the top card off and say, is that theirs? And just push over, catch a little pinky break. Place that card straight onto the top, get it all square. Then all you're doing is picking the card up with your middle finger and your thumb, and it's about halfway up the short edges, so at the top and the bottom. About halfway up you pick it up and you put your first finger just on the inside of the pip, if you see what I mean. Put it on the pip and then slide it towards you, slide your finger towards your palm, and you just put a bit of pressure on, just so you can flick the card over and aiming it for the pack so it lands on. It'll take a lot of practice to get it absolutely spot on, so it lands square on the pack. Then you can just turn their card over or whatever and you're looking clean. So all it is just getting a break under the second card, or just getting the top card and turning it over and then just doing a double lift with them. So all you're doing is just putting that card down, sliding them back a bit, catching the two cards, sliding it forward, pick it up. Make sure you pull your hand back from the pack when you flick it, because it normally has a tendency to go up onto the pack that way. And a good thing about it is because you can do this really low, because you just need clearance to get that bottom edge under, people won't think you've had enough time to, you haven't picked the card up high enough to actually turn it over, if you see what I mean. Well, that's the way you'll do a duck change anyway. Turn the top card over, pick the top card and the next card, the one card you want it to change into, middle finger and thumb halfway on the narrow edges on the top and the bottom, your first finger just on the inside of the pip, and then all you're doing is just pushing with that finger and flicking it off. And that's the duck change. Right, now this is how you do with the twirl. Same as with the duck change, you need to do a double lift. You know, the card, the selector's card in second place, indifferent card on the top. Again, you can show the indifferent card and catch a break, put it down face up, or you can just put it down face up and get a, do a little double lift, so you're picking the two of them up together. Grab hold of it on the top right corner and the bottom left corner between your middle finger and your thumb. I always do that as it's on the deck. Get it slid up a bit, catch them, and I slide it on the corner of the pack just to get a bit of a belly in it, so it's easier to pull it down with your middle finger and your thumb on your left hand. Because then all you're going to do, it will take a bit of time getting the pressure right. You know, if you press too hard, it doesn't move. If you don't hold it tight enough, there's a good chance that they're going to come flying out your hand. And all you're doing is just bending that card that way, then letting go with your thumb so the card spins around. You will have to mess around with it, as I say, to get your pressure right and the pressure to the spin right. And always try and get your first finger out of the way, because you can quite often hit it. Once you've done it, you picked it up and you spun it, you just put it down onto the deck, you're picking the top card up and you're clean. And that's the twirl change. You get the two cards up together. Where have you gone? Come here. There he is. Yeah. To the edge of the pack, your middle finger and your thumb, the top right and bottom left, your thumb and your middle finger on the other two corners, bend it a little bit and spin. Ooh. Ooh. I'm pressing too hard. There we go. I say you will take a bit of time getting used to the pressure you need, and that's the twirl change. Right, now this is the shake change, and same as the other two, you need the selector's card second from top with an indifferent on the top of it. And again, you do the same thing. You need to get the two cards together back to back in your hand. So again, you can either take the card off, is that your card, as you're getting a break, put it down square and catch it by the corners, same as with the twirl change. Or you can just turn the card over, and again you can just do a little double lift, so you're bringing the two of them up together. Same again with the twirl change. You bring it to the corner and you grab hold of it, top right corner, bottom left corner, and then all you're going to do is just shake your hand, But as you're shaking it, what you're doing is turning that card around with your finger. That's all you're doing. So you pick it up, and as you shake it, it changes. You will have to mess around again with this, with the speed, to make sure that nobody sees it happening. Again, put it onto the top of the deck, and you can come away clean. The indifferent cards facing down. So again, top right corner, bottom left corner, thumb and middle finger. First finger, I just always rest it just on the top edge, so when you shake, you're just twisting that around. Put it down and away clean. And that's your shake change. Right, now here's how you do the snap change. Again, you'll need the selected card second to top. No, you need to have the selected card on the top for this one. And all you're going to do is just do a double lift to show it's not the right card. Then you're just going to pick it up with your first three fingers right down on the card with your thumb in the back. Because all you're going to do is click them fingers around. I'm trying to do this nice and slow so you can see what I mean to start with. You're just clicking them two fingers around so that card disappears behind the back. And as you can see, it is invisible. When you seen what I was doing, but you didn't see, once it was done, it's all clean. So you got the card, and all you do is click them two fingers, that card pops out behind the back. So it's like that in your hand, and it's totally hidden. And then all you're doing is putting that card underneath that cover, putting that card back onto the top of the pack, so you're left clean. So again, you're just doing a double lift. A double lift to show it's not their card. Grab hold of it on this side, opposite side to the pip. And you're just snapping your fingers, bringing your hand to the pack, disposing of that card, and you come away clean. So that's the snap change. Just once more, double lift, grab it to the opposite side to the pip, make sure the cards don't split apart, opposite side to the pip, your first three fingers so you go right down to the bottom edge, hold it up, bring your pack in ready near to these two cards, click with them two fingers, that goes underneath, you bring your hand down to the pack, and that card's gone on there and you're clean. And that was your snap change. Right, now this is the Cardini change. And again, the card you want to be changed into, you have on the top. With indifference, obviously, 51 indifference underneath it. But you have the main card on the top. Do a double lift, so you're showing the indifferent card. Pinch with your first finger and your thumb at the top edge, and then you just use your little finger then just to slide that top card off so it stands up at the side, showing that card. And when it's done, you have your hand in the way so they don't see that card going up, so it looks like it's just changed in front of their eyes. Then all you need to do then is get rid of that card, and you need to get it down to the bottom. So all you're doing is getting that up there, grabbing hold of the pack as you slide that card underneath, square with the pack. So you just got rid of it. So it's a double lift. I know that was messy, I'm just trying to get through it quick. You do a double lift, pinch with your first finger and your thumb at the top, use your little finger as your hand goes over. As your hand goes over, you just use your little finger just to pull at the bottom corner. My card's a little bit sticky. There, pull at the bottom corner so that card goes up underneath the cover of your hand. You just grab hold of that pack and then you just get that card, and with them 4 fingers you just pull it underneath and squaring it on the bottom. So you do a double lift, you flick the card up, you come across with your hand and cover it. Use your 4 fingers to slide the card underneath and you get it all square. And you come away from that one again clean. And that's the Cardini. Now this one's the Erdnase top change, and again you get the selected card to the top. Do a double lift, so you're turning over the top 2 cards. Then all you're going to do is use your top of your little finger on that corner just to slide that card up a bit. You're going to use the butt of your palm just to pull that card down, and as you pull it down you get it just to clear that card. You can see it's just clearing it. It'll just click very lightly as it comes clear, or you'll feel it actually hit into your palm. Then all you're doing is pushing this hand up, pushing that hand up as you push that finger down to square that card back to the pack until that card hits and you've just gone and done it. So you do your double lift, pad of your little finger just pushes the top card up, the bottom of your palm pulls this one down till it just clears it. And you can do this different ways. You can push that down and move your hand to the side and put your hand onto it, or you can push it up, get it clear, take it, get it over this way, hold it on your finger and then just pull it in. So there's a couple of different ways you can actually finish on that one, but it's all the same thing. Double lift, pad of your little finger on the bottom of your palm just to pull it clear, push down as you pull up and square up, and you've gone and done it. Erdnase top change. Right, now this is the one that I'm calling table edge colour change. I say this one is basically it's a card switch for a gambler, and if you're lucky enough like me to have a computer desk, as you can see I've got a little ledge down here and it's just high enough for the card to stand just underneath the lip so it can't be seen. I'm going to be changing it into that one. So what I done was just had it stood up, leaning against the edge, and you start off with your hands like that. I had the ace on the table, didn't I? And you start off with your hands at the edge, shoulder empty. As you're picking that one up to turn it, you're just bringing your hand down, catching onto that card and getting into a gambler's cup. Hence it's a gambler's move. You're grabbing it in a gambler's cup, which is basically holding it right down on the bottom of your hand. Hang on, no, I had it that way around, didn't I? So you pick it up. Oh, come on. Pick it up into a gambler's cup. As you're picking that up and turning it, so attention's on this rather than this hand. I'll try that again. Start off like that, show your hands are empty, put your hand down, get down to the gambler's cup as you show that card there. Then all you're doing is just squaring the two of them up and you're coming away and it looks clean. You're just hiding that one. So again, you have the card there, that one facing down, have your hands just hanging on the edge of the table, show that they're empty, pull your hand back, just slide that up into the gambler's cup as you're turning that one so the focus is on there. Then you're just bringing your hands together and squaring up. Now a gambler, when they're doing it, they use gimmick, because obviously they don't have the luxury of having a ledge underneath a poker table. So what they do, I mean this is just one for one card, they'd have it set up so that I think they have, because some of them will do it with like a full deck, so they have it layered, if you know what I mean. They'll have a load of them going along, and where that is, they then have another set of them underneath going along, so they could pick out, using a thumb, pulling up, catching, whichever card they actually desired, if you get the drift. But all I'd do for the one card is just get a piece of paper. I'm just going to use a bit of double-sided sticky tape, which might actually work very well because it's double-sided, to get it inside the gap. And you could just use normal sellotape, obviously, and just pin it over the edge, but I don't have the luxury of having normal sellotape. I've only got double-sided. Ooh. So you're basically just making a little wallet for that to stick into. I'll stick a bit of double-sided tape on the back at the top, just so then you can push my table right in. You can just stick it to the table, and then when you need it, you're just pulling it out of that little pocket. So you just got it hidden out of sight, you can't see that, and you just grab an hold, pulling up, and you're bringing it up in a gambler's cup. And so you can make a long one, have a stack of cards in there. It's a very good gambler's little thing now. So you have to watch that. If ever playing poker with somebody, always check around their side of the table. Well, that's a little gimmick you can make for it. And I say with that, you just have it hanging down, and it works exactly the same way. You have that card on the table, have your hands at the sides, hanging over the sides. Go for that card. You're sliding that one up in a gambler's cup as you turn that, and then you just put them together. And that's the one that I call table edge. I say more of a gambler's move anyway. Well, this one's the Bertram change, and you're just doing it with two cards. There's two different ways of doing this, and I'll show you both ways. But basically you have the card you want to change the colour into. For this one, you want to change the red one into the black one. So you just square them up together, and you just hold them at the edge and push your finger in. I mean, you have to practice this one a bit to be able to flip them over together so that they stay together and land in your hand. It does take a bit of practice, but you get them to flip over like that. Then you come in and you grab with your three fingers on this bottom corner and do the flick over on this side. I told you you have to practice this. I just move position and I can't do it. You flip it over that way and then bring your hand this way because it is a bit angle sensitive. So you bring your hand around so you're getting the back of your hand facing them. And as you're doing it, you're just turning that card. And I'm turning the red one into the black one, aren't I? So just as you get it down to about that angle, just so that they can just start seeing the top of that card and they can't see none of that one, you're just spinning that one. See what I mean about it being angle sensitive. you start spinning the back one with your fingers, so you're just pulling with your fingers. So you're getting it up, you're pulling the back one with your fingers, getting it around, and then you're getting into Tenkai palm. As you hold that one, showing us the red one, and you're sliding up, squaring it up, and sliding down to show it's changed. So you flick it into your hand, come across. When you get, I mean, you'll have to practice this in front of a mirror to get your angles right. You just bring it around, get it into Tenkai palm. Watch you don't go down too low and flash that corner, and watch you don't come up too high and flash it over the top. You show that card, grab hold of the top and bottom, then you just slide the two of them together and you square up. Another way you can do it, but this way is it's the easiest way of doing it, but it also can be caught out, because what I'm going to be doing again is changing red into black, but this time you're having the black on the bottom. So when you're doing messy, when you do your flick, they might just get a glimpse of the spade. I don't know if you're glimpsing that. And then when you come around, you're doing the exact same thing again, turning your hand this way, putting your three fingers on the top, but this time instead of pulling your fingers this way, you're pulling your thumb this way. So you're taking the black one out of focus. So you wait till you get to the right angle, and you're just spinning that around, and again getting it into your Tenkai palm. So you're showing the red card, and then you square them up and show it's gone black. But say the only thing with that is as you flick it. If you're not flicking it quick enough, you can see you're getting the real split as well, but you're getting a good glimpse of the black card. And you get a glimpse of the black card, and all of a sudden you're seeing a red card. Something's a bit fishy there, isn't it? So as I say, that one can be caught out. You've got to be really quick with your flick to get it over. Around, Tenkai, show. And there you go. And that's your Bertram change. Right, now this is the one that I think's called the invisible change. And basically it's getting selected card or whatever to the back of the pack. And all you're going to be doing is pulling it down. Well, pulling it down the pack that way so it goes underneath. And then you're just clicking it up into position. Sounds easy, doesn't it? You need to hold the pack that way. Your thumb on one long end and your fingers on the other. Now I like to get a break in it already. I have my first finger resting on the back and my fingers, my middle finger inside, so that I can quite easily just do that. And it's just that action, because you don't really want to see any movements up here. So the less movement you can see up there. I'm trying to, yeah, if I hold it like that. I mean, obviously you've seen it going through, because I'm trying to give you as much of a view as I can do of it getting done. And you need to try and keep the front of the pack facing directly at the spectator. And then all you're doing is just pulling down, it's coming underneath, and it's done. I'll try and show you this at the side view. I've got my middle finger in it and my first finger on the top of the pack, well, that one card. You're holding it with a big gap in front of it, because you need a lot of room for that card to pop into. And all you're doing is just pulling that in and getting it underneath. And when you get into that position, you can move that hand. As long as that hand doesn't go right the way down or too far up, you can keep that hand just about there, and then you can just pull the hand up. And all you've done is, from having it in that position, all you've done is just done that with the card, with them fingers. And so you do that as you're waving your hand in front, or you can do the window open, where you just have your hand there, you cover it, and then you just open your fingers, and you can see the cards visibly changed straight away. So just once more. I mean, a lot of people do it from a standing still, but I always find it easy if you just, as you have hold of the pack, just get a little break, get your finger in there, finger pinched on the back, bring your hand around, get that card down and under, and you've done it. And that's the what I think is called the invisible change. Right, now this is the one that I'm calling a palm change, and it'll become apparent why. You want to get the top card, so spectator's card goes on the top. Have your hand on the, only like that with your first finger on the back, because you need to slide that card up. And all you're doing is taking the pack into your hand, sliding that card forward into your fingers, sliding off, so you're leaving that there in a palm position, showing the pack, coming back down, squaring up and pulling that card up. So from the front you see that going like that, the hand going there, the hand swinging around, and then the hand swinging around. It's pretty good one, very simple, and you can use it as a multi-change, because you can go do it with the first card, and then as you're coming in to pick that up, all you're doing then is pushing another one off and coming in and pushing another one off. Sloppy. But you see what I mean? You can use this as a multiple card change technique, so you can go through quite a few different cards. If you see, well, you get the point on that, don't you? Where them cards come there. So again, you have the spectator's card, or whatever card you want it to change into on the top. You show it, you cover it up with your palm, and all you're doing is pushing that card forward into your fingers. Try and have your finger roughly in the middle of the card. Gives you more room then to get this one out of the way. If your finger's all the way up there, you got your fingers right up at the end and you're doing it, it makes it a horrible clicky noise because you got to go too far. So the further down you can have your finger, the better. Just show it, come in, square it up, and it's back out again, and you're clean. And that, as I say, that's the one that I call palm change. Right, now to all of those who've actually watched all of them, hey, this is number 11, it's the last one. And this is the one that I've got no idea what it's called anymore. But it's a very nice one. And all you're doing, again, you're trying to get whatever card you want it to change into, like say the spectator's card, you have it on the top of the pack. And all you're doing is showing the front of it. Having your little finger just on that top corner, just buttle a bit, so you get their card coming out, and then you're just spinning it around. It will take a bit of time getting used to doing that. So, see, we've just got two there. You're sliding it out, just on an angle. And all that's done when it's covered by your hand, because you have it there, you bring it in like that, and then it's just like as if you're popping the pack up, and all you're doing is catching that in your thumb and your hand, so you're holding it in like a tenkai, but I mean tenkai's all the way over here, but this is a very in the palm tenkai, so you got a hold of it like that, and then all you're doing is just sliding your hand up, squaring the card up, and it's done. Can I show you better this way? I'll try and get every move on. You just do a little buttle on the back card, just to get it to come out. As you're turning the pack upwards, you're doing that motion with the pack. As you take that card into your hand like that, then all you're doing is you're sliding it straight up the pack and squaring down the side with your fingers. So you're showing it, getting a bottle, bringing it in, twisting that pack up, pulling it down, and it's gone and done. I say I can't remember what that one's called because I've done this one for years and I'm still no good at it. So just bottle the card, swing it out, you're catching it then in your hand down there because that's what the spectator's seeing. They're not seeing the over the top view, they're seeing all of this. As you spin that around and you just bring your hand up and your hand back down again and you're done. I say that's the colour change with no name, shall we call it. Right, well, I say thanks to everybody who watched every one of them. Good on you. I hope you had a nice strong cup of coffee before you started. Hope you can use some of them. I hope some of them are new to you. I mean, I hope you like the little gambling one. That wasn't a too bad one. But don't use it going playing poker, you might get yourself in trouble. Have fun with them and I'll see you later.